This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons.
Where she's in one camp and I'm in the other.
Do you remember in the first episode when we see the ballpoint pen for the very first time that is given to Percy? And I was like, oh my gosh, look at the guard for it. It's bronze.
Yeah.
Just like the sword is bronze. Well, I found out that not only is it bronze, it's actually supposed to be the exact shape of the sword.
Oh, cool.
So the pen guard, the part that you clip on your pants or your shirt or whatever, is in the shape of the sword and the color of the sword.
That's cool. Hey, Disney, we want some merch. I mean,
Yes.
wouldn't that be cool?
Please sell like $1 pens with the...
$1.
No, that's...
They're going to sell it for $10.
I know they would, but that's the thing about those pens is they could be like the kind of merch that any fan could get.
Yeah.
Because it can be a cheap pen with just a one little addition of the guard being a little different.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm actually looking forward to whatever merch they come out of this
I'm gonna
TV
buy
show.
it all.
Yeah.
I hope it's so great. I kind of want the Helm of Darkness.
Do you think they're
I
going to sell that?
wouldn't wear it. I would just like put it on display. It's so cool.
That's great. Okay, cool. Well, last episode, we went over the beginning of episode 4. We covered like the missing poodle that never showed.
Yep.
And the scene where Percy's somehow a child scared of water, which we were like, no, that's not. We just, yeah. Okay, sorry. We're not going to do that again.
That was just a figment of his imagination.
Okay, good. It was just a dream.
It wasn't a flashback.
And then the conversations with Grover and Annabeth, which were really good.
Yeah.
And then
Marnie
the police comes.
Yeah. And then the police come. I remember you mentioned, like, first you said, are they having breakfast in that scene? Like, when they're first sitting there and they see the centaurs? Well, I rewatched it again today, and you can see, you don't see any food, but you see they all have a drink in front of them, and then you can see in the background, remember that thing that you said looked like a bar?
Yeah.
In the next scene, when they're, like, in custody with the police, I guess? And you're like, oh, there's a bar in the background. Well, you can see that in the first shot of them having breakfast. You have to look really carefully. It's when Percy's looking out the window, saying, like, talking about the centaurs, there's, like, a reflection of the bar behind it, but it's like a breakfast bar. There's like muffins on the counter, and there's a little coffee machine, and there's a guy working there.
But it looked like they brought them to a whole different car.
No.
They just brought them back to the car and they sat in a different seat because they're in a different table and everything.
Yeah, they might be at a completely different table, but
okay.
They're closer to that like breakfast bar now. But it's the same exact breakfast bar that was in the first shot of them when he was looking out the window and talking about the centaurs.
Oh, okay, good to know.
And yeah, and that's what it there is like a little bar looking setup, but it's just breakfast food. There's a coffee machine, there's muffins and stuff.
Yeah.
So there you go. That answered that.
Okay, good.
We are going to spoil the whole season 1 and the whole book 1 repeatedly as we talk, so don't forget that. But we'll give extra spoilers if we go into other books or other series or anything like that.
Yupper deppers. Okay, so we kind of continue this scene where they're at because it goes right into, like, it doesn't actually change to a new scene, but this is when Echidna gets actually introduced to us. So we saw her in the hallway when they were like, are we under arrest? You know, we saw her there.
Yeah, talking
and
to
then
the girl, please.
Yeah, we saw her in the background when they're sitting there talking, but then comes over, right?
Yeah, and she, like, taps, they're, like, talking about, like, how are we going to get out of this? Like, what's our plan? And she comes and, like, taps Annabeth on the shoulder and is like, can I sit here?
Right. And then she tells the police officer, the female one, like, you're scaring them. Like, oh, woman. She's an
so
amazing
much.
villain because it's one of those that is, like...
She's so, like, sneaky and icky.
Yeah, and icky.
She's icky. Like, every time she talks, I just, like, want to slap her. Like, she's, like, the adult that, like, you're... Like, they're 12, like, literally... When you're, like, 12 or 14, like, around that age, but they're still adults that talk to you like you're 7, and you're like, you make me so angry. Like, it's just so infuriating when that happens, and I totally feel it. They're all just looking at her like, well, who is this lady? Like, leave us alone.
Yeah, that's very true, because she does talk to them very condescendingly.
Yeah, like, oh, your parents aren't here.
Yeah.
Like, she's so scared, and they're just like, can you leave? Like, please?
Yeah. So we don't... At first, she's just talking to them. I don't remember exactly... whatever she's saying, but that's when Grover says, you have something on your shoulder. and she looks down and it's a piece of glass. So it kind of blows her cover, right? I don't know. She was probably going to blow her own cover shortly.
Like it, because she said, like, oh, I don't really think you guys did that. I just wanted to have, like, a moment alone with you.
Yeah,
like,
but then he points out the glass, which is interesting because this is another indicator of how they're trying to make Grover more involved in the heroics of the quests. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't as much in the first book. He was like Grover. We talked about this before, so we won't go over into detail. But he doesn't really come into his own really until the 5th. Like in the 4th is when he's doing it. But this him spotting the glass, that's a total Annabeth move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be, like, too nervous. Like, he wouldn't even be making eye contact with her. Like, that's the kind of nervousness he would be chewing
the napkin holder. That's what he would be doing.
He would be eating the napkins.
Yeah, or something. He would be totally nervous and would not be noticing these things. So
yeah.
But they do, I mean, again, we mentioned this. Like,
he's, like, way more emotionally stable. Not only is he more emotionally stable, but then he brings more emotional stability into the trio.
And I don't mind it. I really love this Grover. I have no problem. It's just not the same Grover, but it's close enough that...
He has a lot of the same things. But even, like, later in this season, when he talks to Ares, like, that's not something that Grover would do in book 1. However, he does it so well, and he's just so... I don't know. He's so great in that scene.
It's I thought it was such a smart scene. But again, not Grover. Not book 1
He wouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Not
maybe later on Grover, but he's still just way too nervous. Genuinely, like social anxiety, like, well, he was very, everything.
Yeah, like very, like, young for his age, or even for the age of Annabeth and Percy as humans. He was just, like, more
they
young.
seemed like they were older than him, and that's why they would, like, Percy would constantly kind of think, like, it's funny that he's supposed to be my protector, because it doesn't really feel like that to Percy in the beginning for a while. But then he comes through. Like, Grover always comes through at the end. Like, it does, like, with fighting Medusa, even in the book.
Does he ever... Okay, yeah, he does the fighting Medusa thing where he does, like, distract Medusa enough.
He saves them at the water park with his flying shoes. He slows them down enough.
Yes, right.
To, like, so that when they hit the ground, they don't, like, die. He always comes through in the end, but he's definitely not, like, the, like, go get him. Like, he's like the, can I please stay behind?
Yeah.
I don't actually want to be here. Oh, I have to be here, fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so he figures out she's got glass. She's like, okay, gig's up. Now they know. And then, I mean, what?
Sorry, speaking of Grover, even he noticed that the window was smashed inwards, but the police officers are like, it has to be you guys. But, like, even Grover's like, the window is clearly smashed from the outside.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He says, wait a minute. Like,
to her when we're talking? Okay, got it.
He's like, that window was smashed inwards. And then that's when it's really blown. Like, that's when she just gives up completely. And she's like, I'm a mother too. Mother of monsters. And just, like, goes right into all of that.
So she's the mother of monsters. Her name is Echidna. It means she-viper. She-viper, like a snake.
Nice.
She is a half woman, half monster. She is reptilian.
Yeah.
Not just a human.
Fire totally or wings.
Yeah. I don't know what the fire or wings thing is. We still don't know if that's supposed to be her.
See any wings.
That's supposed to be the chimera bringing her along. We still don't know what that was. We just know that we assume now because of the glass that she was the one to come through that. So they totally depict her, or I should say Rick does in the book, completely different. She's very silly. When I say silly, meaning like, the way
like a cartoonish bad guys.
Yeah, the way most of Rick does. The way Rick does most of his monsters, and the gods. It's that silliness. Like, she's described as having beady eyes, pointy coffee-stained teeth, a floppy denim hat, and a denim dress that bulged so much she looked like a blue jean blump.
Yeah.
And there's a dog. So this is a totally different scene, as we mentioned last time, because they're actually in the St. Louis Arch's elevator
when all of this happens. When they first meet her.
Yeah.
So this is again like just like in the Medusa episode. It's like it goes along and it's like normal, and then like
totally different.
All of a sudden, like
same monster,
but like the whole interaction just goes down way differently. But then like it ends the same.
Yeah, it does, and I like the fact that I thought maybe it was all going to happen on the train. I'm so glad that they took it to the arch, and he still falls and all that stuff, which we obviously will get to, but it starts differently.
And this was the same exact thing that happened with Medusa, And it's just interesting that he's, like, reimagining all these monster fights. You know, like, he is keeping the storyline. Like, you hit the same points, you hit the same monsters, you hit the same locations, and you get the same, like, general vibe of the story. But, like, there's definitely things that he seems to just go in and, like, let's just reimagine this whole thing, but then, like, come out with the same result. And this is definitely one of those. And I don't know. I just can't imagine why. I mean, the only thing I can say about why is that I feel like he mentioned, like, back when the movies were getting made, the crappy movies, the reason why they put the pearls in place in that movie where you have to, like, find Persephone's pearls or whatever is because it made more sense for the storyline for them to hit these individual places with, like, a purpose instead of just, like, let's just aimlessly travel across the US. That's what the
director or the writers thought?
That's
not
what they
Rick.
were saying. Yeah.
Okay.
But then when Rick was writing the emails about it, I think he did mention, like, that he understood, like, why they wouldn't want that, like, aimlessly wandering around the US vibe, like, why that might not be good for the story or might not make enough sense.
So this might be a way of making them have to stop there at St. Louis?
So that's the only thing I can say about why this would change, but
it would take 2 seconds for them to say, first of all, like, oh, hey, so we only got a ticket that gets us as far as Denver, because that's what happens in the book, which we don't know at all in here.
Yeah.
It's going to stop in St. Louis and we have a layover. And then another 2 seconds for Annabeth to say, I want to be an architect when I grow up.
Let's go look
Let's go see the arch.
Yeah. Like, but maybe that just didn't fit in with her new, slightly changed character. Like we talked about, this Annabeth is way more careful.
There's no way they can't make her not want to be an architect.
No.
Oh, you mean
I'm saying, like, the fact that she's way more careful, especially with Percy and knowing about the monsters that are attracting them. So, I don't know. That's just, like, the only reason why I can think they changed this. Like, with the Medusa thing, I don't even know why that was changed. There was no reason for that to get changed in that way.
It would have softened our TV Annabeth up a little bit, though, if they were to have her want to do something just for fun for a minute. It would have softened her up.
I mean, we learned she's never watched any movies. Like, this is not the Annabeth we have.
That's okay, but she can still... Yeah. Anyways, so...
It's just not.
They changed this monster quite a bit. She is also So, she has a little chihuahua. She calls him Sonny. Percy's like, is that his name? And she's like, nope.
Yeah, right.
Because it's her son, right?
Yeah.
And then when she turns into the whole thing, he says first he notices that her forked tongue is flickering between her teeth, and he's like, what?
Like, wait, what?
Forked tongue? And then when she starts, like, becoming, her monster form, she's revealing skin that was scaly and green. Her teeth were fangs. The pupils of her eyes were sideways slits like a reptile. Right. And the chihuahua, which it was a chihuahua in the TV show, so that was good. The one scene you see it running by, starts growing big, and becomes the Chimera. Yeah. Now, we're going to talk about the Chimera when we see it, so that's a different thing.
Chimera.
Chimera?
The Chimera?
Yes, I think it's Chimera. Well, whatever.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Also, does she talk too much? Is it just me?
Yeah, no. Okay,
way too much monologuing.
Last time I watched through, like, my first round of notes I made for this whole episode, I didn't really think about that, but this time, I was like, this really goes on so long, and she's just saying the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm,
like, I feel like she stopped making a point and just kept on repeating herself in different words.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are without your parents. I'm the mother of monsters. My son needs to hunt, or my daughter, because she calls...
Did she say she?
Yeah, multiple times. Huh. Like, don't fight back, you're just going to make her angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's a female chimera. Sure. But, my daughter is gonna hunt you down. She's a child. Like, she's a young monster. But, like, eventually, I swear she's just saying the same thing over and over again, like, slower and slower and more, like, gross.
And maybe that's more on a rewatch, because when I first watched it, I remember thinking, wow, she's actually kind of terrifying. Like, it's almost like a psychological terror.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, when I just watched
But then when I watched it again, I was like, this is added time. So I don't know.
Yeah. Like, you know that she's trying to make them scared, so... She's like seems to be doing that on purpose. Like, the way that she's doing
she's trying to really get their fear going. And I think doesn't she mention it helps the smell or helps the tracking?
Yes.
So she's really working on that fear. I thought she did a really good job. It's just that after watching it this other time, I was just like, oh
after enough times through, I'm like,
woman,
okay, are we done? Yeah, you've made your point. Can we run now?
Can we run now? Anyways, I forgot to mention. So her mate is Typhon?
Yeah.
Typhon?
He's like the giant.
He's like a giant, big, like mega monster. In the books, he's the one.
Spoiler warning. Skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid spoilers about book 5.
And this is for book 5 that explodes out and like the gods cannot contain him. Like they are having the worst times. Like the whole book, he is like marching towards Olympus and they can't contain him because he is terrifying. But he was sleeping in this mountain that in book 4. I'm just rereading the series, so I know these things now, which is so good. Book 4, it's the one that Percy erupted.
Yeah, so he woke. Percy woke.
Yeah, it started waking. He started stirring in book 4, and then in book 5 he was awake for sure. Yeah. So that's apparently her husband or her mate.
Yeah, but another thing about him is he was in the first God war, like gods versus Titans. He was on the Titan side, and they had, like, it took. It was like really hard all of their effort to get him to like go to sleep under this mountain. They couldn't even kill him. They could just put him to sleep. Yeah. Under this mountain, which then is a volcano because sometimes he would stir and it would erupt. That would be enough to make it erupt. And he's more than just a giant. I remember that he gets something described. But you know what? A bunch of faces that are like changing all the time. And
it's like a big hurricane, tornado.
He's like constantly shifting forms, and he's just giant and terrifying and very, very, very powerful. So if you imagine like Echidna and him getting together, you can imagine how the monsters they created were like some of the most powerful and terrifying monsters.
Yeah. And she says the mother of monsters, and they say it in the book as well, and it's not the mother of every monster, which is what I thought, which it's not, but she is the mother of many well-known monsters. Yeah. So, including the Chimera and Cerberus.
Makes sense.
And Geryon, I don't know how to say it, but it's the Geryon, who is that three-chested man at the ranch. Yeah. Yeah. So... Gyron?
Gyron? I don't know.
Whatever. We'll have to figure that out when we get to
Grayon? I think it might be Grayon.
No, because it's Geryon. Gyron. Maybe we'll listen to the book, the audio.
I'm trying to remember how Mike Schubert said it.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll figure it out when we get there. Yeah, so that was my little background info on...
Sorry. I'm still trying to figure it out. Yes, that's Echidna. Yeah. She was his general when they were fighting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not just his wife or whatever. Oh. They were, like, she was his general, and they had a bunch of kids together.
And they were monsters, so they were, like, great army soldiers, whatever.
Yeah. A good family. Good family for fighting.
It's like, like when you run a farm back in the day, you had, like, 8 children, so you had enough people to work. But these guys, they just made a bunch of monsters so they could kill the gods. I mean, it's smart.
Yeah. Until they lost.
Well, yeah, that happens. But, they just die and come back and die and come back. I mean,
yeah, but her partner is now,
He's been gone
asleep
for a long
and
time.
under a mountain. She's probably bitter.
I wonder if she's out to get the gods.
Yeah. Oh, there is something she says, though, that I found interesting that I liked that got put in there. She mentions this line about, like, I think that demigods are the true monsters. They're so, like, aggressive and, like, unpredictable and, like, whatever. So, like, I find it to be my job to rid the world of, like, monsters like you guys. Wow. And she says this, and I just find that so interesting. I wonder how many monsters agree to that, or if she really means that, or is just taunting them.
It's just part of the taunting.
But I think it's, like, an interesting way to think about it, because to monsters, demigods are, like,
demigods are the ones that are killing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you
notice...
I
just want to eat humans. I don't see the problem.
If you notice, like, gods are not allowed to actually intervene when these demigods are trying to kill monsters or intervene with the monsters in the mortal world. Yet that doesn't stop the Titans. The Titans can intervene. And Percy even mentions that in, I think, book 4. He's sort of like, that's dumb. It doesn't stop the Titans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean...
They're, like, full on...
The thing is, like, you'd look at this in multiple ways, but of course in the Greek stories they had to make it that way, because otherwise why couldn't a god just handle all of your problems, right? Like, it's kind of like, even in, like, other religions, it's often like God can give you strength to do something or to face something, but, like, you're not just going to intervene and like handle all your problems. Like, you have to have faith and you have to have strength and all these things, right?
Yeah, there wouldn't be any fun stories if they weren't, like, demigods weren't struggling and trying to handle
so that was, like, that was the actual Greeks, like, viewpoint of it to make it make sense for them. It's
Yeah.
like they can't interfere directly, but they can interfere indirectly, like giving you strength or tools or a prophecy or whatever else that they could do.
Every once in a while coming in and doing things.
Give you
because
advice.
Hera does things, you know, throughout the book series.
Definitely.
And, yeah.
But like when it comes down to it, you have to be the one that actually goes on the quest, face the monster and whatever.
And
but
if you die, it's too bad. They'll send another demigod out sometime.
I know. So I'm reading now the Apollo series, and like this doesn't have any spoilers, but just like it's so interesting to think about how Rick thinks the gods think. Like they're really just extremely like self-centered, and like they really have no regard for the lives of the demigods.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of ants.
Now, of course, that's Apollo, so maybe Athena or maybe other gods care a little bit more, but at least to him, he's like. He does not care. Like, he wants them to do his bidding, but if they fail, it's just, like, literally whatever. So that's why they don't even care to interfere, because they're like, whatever, we'll just get another demigod.
And Apollo is known for being extremely selfish
yes.
in general. Like, he thinks very high of himself. He's very selfish. So that's definitely much more him.
Yeah, but you do get the vibe that, like, most of them are kind of on this path of, like...
It would be sad. They would shed a tear if their child died.
Kid, yeah.
But anybody else,
that's pretty much it.
yeah.
Yeah, especially if they really love the mom. Like, when it comes down to it, it seems like the more attachment they had to the woman or man that they had the kid with affects more...
How close it would be.
To the kid, yeah. Because, like, there's kids that they forget about, like, consistently. Yeah. They forgot that
They're
had.
like, I was really embarrassed that I even, like, made a kid with that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to forget about it.
Like, it was just, like, some random woman they saw, like, walking down the street, and they're like, I want to have a kid. Or whatever.
Dionysus, you don't realize until later on in the series how much he really cared about his kids, the two, you know.
Yes, but he only had two. Like, he's probably a lot more. I mean, he
Which
also
is funny
loves
because
his
he's running
wife.
after nymphs all the time.
Yeah, well, those don't have.
Maybe he just never could catch them.
Probably not. But you know that he really loves his wife too, so maybe he's a lot more picky in mortal women because of how much he loves his wife.
Oh, good point.
Although apparently nymphs just.
Except for nymphs. But they're just... Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
Oh my gosh. Okay, so in this scene, Percy gets stung. So...
Yeah.
In the book, he also gets stung, but that doesn't happen until they're already up and in the fight. Here he gets stung much earlier.
Yes, and this, like, leaves a needle in him. It's supposed to be like a scorpion's tail, right? Which doesn't leave needles.
Oh, yeah. Well... I have those notes I have are when we see the mirror, but
it's definitely a different anatomy than what's described in the books.
It is definitely different. And actually, I don't even understand the tail. And that's the thing I even wrote in here. I don't understand the tail because it says that, it says something about it being a snake tail. But then it has a stinger? So I was confused even in the book on the tail. The rest of it is explained, the body and the...
Did it sting him or did it bite him then?
No, it stung him. Well, you know what? When we get to that scene...
Oh, that is
We'll
confusing.
look at that again. We'll look at it more clearly when we get to that scene.
Didn't know what was going on. But it's interesting with the spike, the poisonous spike, because there's only one creature that we learned about in the Percy Jackson books that has poisonous spikes. And that's in the third book. There's this monster that could shoot spikes.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Manticore?
Was it Manticore? Yeah.
They can shoot poisonous
spikes. But it wasn't
spikes.
Deadly spikes. They just would hurt.
They wouldn't kill you, but they do... Yeah, the poison would kill you, but it did, like, slow you down, right?
It just said it won't kill you, but it'll be very painful. That's all he said. I don't know. I don't remember if anybody getting hit by one.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I just remember, like, when Annabeth pulls the stinger out of him when they're running away, I was like, what creature is this? Like, is it gonna be the Chimera, or is it gonna be a different creature?
Oh, because it was unknown. It was
this?
weird the way it came out. It looked more like an octopus tentacle or something.
Yeah, I was definitely
confused by what came out. Like, that was supposed to be his tail. But, of course, also, we know it's, like, in this tiny little dog carrier. So, like, in the book, you actually see the chihuahua, and then you see it grow up to size. Here, you don't really know what's inside this thing.
Yeah, you just get the impression it's a dog, because it's a dog carrier.
Well, no, but then you get the scene where that family is like, what's happening? Looks out the window, and the little chihuahua goes, do, but then...
the train is, like, shaking.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, it makes you
see, like, 3 kids run by, and they're like, oh, that was weird. And then you see 2 police officers like that. They're like, what's happening?
And then there's like this loud noise.
Yeah, it goes like a big like thunk. The train like moves a bit and the lights flicker. They look out. There's just a little dog runs down the train.
It's funny. I did not think that was a Chihuahua. I guess...
Is this weird?
Okay, yes, so it is 100%.
It looked like a different
full on looked it up. I think I was confused with dog breeds, which is just gonna.
It's like a long-haired Chihuahua.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly. I was thinking of that little I was totally thinking of that little like hot doggy dog. Is that not a Chihuahua? What are those called?
Wiener dog.
Yeah, so that's all this time.
There's probably another name for it too.
You can tell I'm
not a dog person.
Well, I don't want to say that because I do love dogs, but I don't know them.
Yeah, well, see, with cats it's easy. Like, there's like, I mean, there's definitely
you're a
lots
long-haired,
of breeds.
you're a short-haired,
But when it comes to like house cats, unless you're buying a specific breed, you're gonna have like 4. There's like either a black cat, a white cat, a long-haired, short-haired, and then tabby of different colors. And that's
orange
like
tabby or the gray or whatever they call them.
Yeah, or like maybe a calico, but even they're pretty rare. Like, for like a house cat that's like just a mix of lots of breeds. So
yeah, I just don't know breeds. So yeah, so I was totally actually thinking of what's called a wiener dog. See, then I saw that go back like, oh, they didn't even use a Chihuahua, and I was so mad. And then I looked up like, oh, that's a Chihuahua. Okay, I'm glad I looked like before I said
Chihuahuas. I always imagined when the dog that she was holding in the elevator from the book was like one of those like, you know, like the Chihuahuas like you can see their whole skull. You know those ones like. There's very little skin and fur between them and their skull and like their heads.
I have to look at more pictures.
Oh, and like they always have like the really messed up teeth, and they're always like so aggressive because no one ever trains a Chihuahua because they're so small that like their owners often think that they're not a threat. So like you can't even pet it without it biting you. Yeah. Like I would imagine it was one of those like really awful Chihuahuas. And the one little one that ran by was like one of the cute ones. And I was like
so cute.
Oh man, they should.
That's okay.
Yeah, but
the only thing it says in the book,
be an ugly Chihuahua.
Yeah, the only thing it says in the book is that it has a rhinestone collar. I didn't see the rhinestone collar, but that's okay.
That would have been a great touch.
And then I don't know, like when it got and when it got really big, the rhinestone collar was still there. Yeah. And it says there was a plate-sized dog tag
that said Sunny?
That said Chimera.
Oh, you're right.
Rabid, fire-breathing, poisonous. If found, please call Tartarus. Extension 954.
I forgot about that.
See, this is the type of humor that I love in the book so much that I feel like they could have put in the movie, but they don't. It's not the movie, TV show. It's okay. And as we know, and I don't have to say it for the 500th time, but it is a more serious show than the book is.
Yeah, they could have done that. They could have done a color that said that and like zoomed in on it. That would be so funny.
Yeah, but they're not. The monsters and the gods are not funny in this.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway, so they're now on the hunt. Like they run out of the train, right?
Right. So they're like, okay, the monsters are going to catch up with us soon. What are we going to do? And then Annabeth's like, there's a place, there's a temple. It's, Athena's temple. And then mentions
a sanctuary to Athena.
Yeah.
Because whoever built it. She does start talking about how whoever built it and stuff. And you can't quite tell from that if she's interested in the architect or just interested in it because it's an Athena.
She brings up the math.
Yeah.
Like she says it's, 650 feet wide and tall or something, like to the foot, and how there's no internal support. It's held up just by math, just by symmetry. Yeah. It's perfection. It's the true way to show it.
So you start getting a little feel. You can't quite tell here, though, that it's architect that she's interested, or she just loves it because it's to Athena. But you do start to get it a little bit.
There is, like, nerdiness to the way she's talking, the passion, and, like, the amount of facts she knows about it. There's definitely a bit. But, see, if I had just watched this show and didn't know anything else about Percy Jackson, I would assume that it's not the architect that draws her, it's the math. Because she brings up the math multiple times. I was like, it's held together by math. Yeah. And so I just assumed, she's an Athena kid. She's into math.
Yeah.
She thinks that, math is cool. And, so more of that than the actual, architect, which, of course, architecture is, a lot of math, of course, but it's a specific brand of math and of creativity. It's not just, I like numbers and, puzzles and stuff. Right.
Know? Yeah.
So, I don't think it's clear enough.
Yeah. And you actually, so right before she starts talking about the architect, I believe, she just mentions it's a sanctuary and she doesn't say what it is yet, and then you get this great a view or whatever you call of a puddle, and you see the arch.
Yeah,
which I thought was really cool.
Puddle,
and then you see it settles, and then you see the arch. Yeah. That was like a kind of neat. That
was because that scene of them walking through the city is not St. Louis. That's why they did that. Because they would have to have panned up, and you would have to see the St. Louis arch because it's right there.
So they just put it in the
they did not
puddle.
film that in St. Louis. They just did that because it was easier to like special effects the puddle, I guess, than like the whole sky and all the buildings and stuff.
Yeah. And as we mentioned in the book, it was just a layover, whatever. Yeah. Train station. It was enough, like 6 hours or something. They just had enough time. And she's like, I really want to go see this place. And she explains about it. She still gives facts. So it's still the same.
And they have blue, doesn't he have blue jelly beans on him, Percy? And he says, like, whenever she started talking about architect too much, he would pass them to Grover.
No.
Does this happen in a different architect building that she goes to?
It hasn't happened yet, and I'm on book. I just started book 5.
No, come on, no.
That's
swear. Not right. You must have missed it. There's a time where they're on another quest, or maybe they're on this quest or whatever, and she's just going on and on and on about all the different architects. And he said he had some candy in his backpack, and he would just he just kept on passing Grover this candy. I thought it was like baby blue jelly beans, but.
Oh, you know what? Sure. You might be right. Hold on. So they're... Okay, yeah, so...
Okay, great. I was like, come on, that had to have happened.
Yeah. So it says... So this is when they get to the... So they get to the arch, and there's a museum there. So it's the same thing. This museum's there as well. It's supposed to be... It says an underground museum in the book. It didn't look like an underground museum, but I couldn't tell by the way they...
It could have been.
Because is that actually the arch that they're filming in at that point?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either,
I don't think they actually ever filmed
it. It talks about... Yeah. At least the elevators. There's no way they could have set up those elevators. I've never been to the arch, so I actually don't know what it looks like.
I remember learning about it. I just don't remember what happened.
Okay. So she's looking at the museum, and it's like the same kind of museums that's set up there with the covered wagons and that, old 1800 stuff.
Yeah.
And it says, Annabeth kept telling us interesting facts about how the arch was built, and Grover kept passing me jelly beans. So it was okay.
Grover had the jelly beans.
Yeah, and it wasn't blue.
To Percy. Okay.
So there, yeah. So you're right. You were... mostly right.
Yes. I just remember that, he wasn't really paying attention and said he was eating candy. I just thought he was passing the jelly beans to Grover.
Because we thought of the blue jelly beans. But
yeah. Because I thought of the blue jelly beans. But no, Grover was just, passing him candy. So he was, fine.
Yeah.
It's like taking your kid through a museum. You just, give them a snack so they don't, I don't know, get bored.
Right. Both scenes, the book and the TV show, were in the arch, were in the museum. Right. Now, two different things happen. So the book... this is when he first brings up the Helm of Darkness. So this is actually almost like a, what's it called when you
You always forget this word.
I always forget the word. What is the word?
It's,
now I'm making
foreshadowing.
Yeah, so this is foreshadowing for the future, because he says, well, he's asking, wait, doesn't Hades have a helm? And then you can't, could he just be right now watching us? And they're like, I guess so, But he's kind of creeped out about that, and that's how you get that's where you first hear about the Helm of Darkness,
right?
Because they just kind of spring that on us,
and that's the book, right?
That's the book.
About the book. Okay,
yeah, but in the TV show, so that happens in the book while they're standing there. But in the TV show, they start talking about, well, not really talking about anything, but Grover gets visibly upset. Right. About what happened, and
I don't even know the history of the arch. I'm looking around in the show, and you can see that there's definitely people fighting not a wildebeest. That's something from Africa.
I think it's all just okay. So there is something called manifest destiny, and a lot of people know this, and I don't, and you obviously don't either. So anybody listening who knows this, just know that we're ignorant about this subject, but. He's definitely upset because this is when they had all the wild. Remember Pan.
This was the time when
Pan is the god of the wild, and he is getting less and less and less and less space. Yeah. So this is when civilization really is coming down. They're killing the buffalo. They're taking over, and they're making it less wild. That's just what's happening.
They're turning it into housing. And
that probably has something to do with all this, because you get the idea. In this, where they're just Grover, he gets really upset about this kind of stuff. About any harm to any animals whatsoever, he gets upset about.
Yes.
Which is, okay. I mean,
I understand. The one thing I have to say about him, though, is that he doesn't fuss at Annabeth or Percy when they do eat animals. We know, canonically, through the books, that he's a vegetarian, obviously, because you can't be part goat and eat meat. That's, weird. But he never fusses at them when they do. Which, you know, personally, I think that's a proper way to have your beliefs, is to not fuss at other people for not sharing your beliefs, because you're not going to get anywhere, and you're just going to ruin
it's not going to change their life or their thoughts or anything. I think this is a way for them to show that he has this upset about the wild, which is true. It's a very true thing about Grover.
And it leaves Percy and Annabeth alone for a minute, which I love, and they're so cute. And, before... he says that he's gonna... Yeah, what does
So he says, I'm gonna go see if I can get tickets, which I'm like, what? You don't buy tickets on the train.
I don't know. Maybe she went to go ask for information. Like, he went to the information desk to ask them, like, where...
Like, can you tell me how
it made it, like, an unscheduled stop, so it's not like the train station stopped... It's not like the train stopped at the train station. Remember, like, the monster thing was happening, the train was shaking, and then you just hear the announcement, like, we're gonna make an unscheduled stop. And when they get out, they're not at a train station, they're just, like, on the railroads. So I think that he just went to go ask for information, like, where's the closest train station, or where can I buy tickets, or whatever.
Yeah.
But before that, he does say this line that I really liked, where he said, just because we're prey doesn't mean we have to be helpless, as he's, like, looking at the pictures of the prey getting killed. But, of course, they're the prey right now, because the monster's coming after them. I just thought that was such a great line.
That is a good line.
Heck yeah, that's right. Also, but I don't know how, like, looking for tickets can help. But I think he also just needed
some space.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have that great joke that Percy does. And again, I love it when they throw these things in, because we miss it so much from the book. But
it was really
he's like,
funny.
so this is
here.
And he's like, oh, so this is your mom's place. Wonder if she's around. And then he pretends his mom's voice, like something like, honey, I'll be right down, or something like that.
Yeah, something about, like...
And then Annabeth actually smiles, which is really cute.
And he says a terrible accent, too. He does, like, it's like, isn't it, like, British or Greek? Like,
I think it was, like, a British accent, which is a bad one.
A really bad one. And then he's like, thanks, I have a gift.
And they're having this great talk. And she just says, like, careful, I think you're about to call me a friend. Somewhere the oracle's laughing at us, but you know, and then he just collapses. That's when he collapses from the poison. Yeah. She's, like, talking to him, and she just starts, and then he just collapses.
But before that happens, so many more important things they talk about. First of all, Percy's like, oh, hey, look, you were right. Your mom did provide for us when we needed a safe space. Like,
did he say that then?
Yeah. Which is awful, because then, like, 2 seconds later, you find out that's not true. And then she's like, hey, this is Athena's temple, but maybe you could talk to Poseidon here. So she's being really sweet. I mean, the fact to even say that from her, like, knowing how, like, the upset between Poseidon and Athena was, like, really sweet of her. And that's when he says, like, you've done more for me than he ever has.
That's right.
And, like, and whatever. And that's when she's like, careful, you must call me your friend. And then he says, like, this thing between you and your mom might work, but, like, it might work for you guys, but, like, it's too late for, like, me and my dad. Like, he had his chance, and he didn't take it, basically.
I hope they really show how his relationship...
What does that even mean?
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know what he means exactly, but he's upset.
I hope... Well, he's about to, at the end of this, falling in the water, he's about to, like, discover more about Poseidon a little bit.
Yes.
Spoiler warning, skip ahead 1 minute to avoid spoilers about book 4.
I really hope they show the developed relationship between him and Poseidon through the books, because they do.
Oh, I can't wait till Poseidon shows up at the
his birthday party. Oh my gosh, I love that.
It's so, that scene just makes me, like,
Poseidon
laugh and cry
Blofeld.
so hard every time. Sally's reaction is my favorite. Like, she's just like,
that's in book 4, by the way.
She just turns, like, so, like, red. She just, like, can't talk. And it's, like, so clear that this is... I mean, like, even before she introduces, like, oh, this is Percy's dad to Paul, he's, like... You can tell he already thinks, like, there's something. Her reaction is just, like, oh, so over the top. But, like, realistic. I mean, it's a god at your door.
Yeah, one that she's presumably, you know, created a baby with. And still liked. Yeah. But can't have. So she's, you know, it's fine. But anyways, and now she has this other guy at her house.
And then they go out on the balcony to talk, and then Poseidon just, like, disappears. And then Percy has to come back and be like, he just climbed to the fire escape. He's like, could have just left the front door.
Anyways, okay, sorry, slight side trip there. Yeah. But yeah, so he collapses, and that's when we move into the scene where they start splashing water on him.
There's so many funny memes about that scene.
Really? I haven't seen them.
I think it was like I saw this one that was like my favorite. It was like a found family is just people who all share one brain cell. You know what a found family is?
No.
It's like when it's your found family. So it's the people you found that aren't actually related to you.
Okay.
But now they're your family. So it's like friends and stuff like that. Like usually when you come from a family that you don't want to be associated with. So now
you have your found family. Got it.
So, but they said that a found family is just, it's just a group of people that all share one brain cell, and then it's just a picture of them splashing him.
That's funny. Well, we don't have this in the book at all because remember, he doesn't get poisoned until he's already up on the arch.
Yeah.
So we don't have this trying to get it. I didn't understand why the water wasn't working. Yes, it's not salt water, but water would still help him some.
Annabeth says it should be naturally flowing water, and maybe it helped him some, but not enough. Because of how powerful the poison is. Maybe. I think it was just a good way to set the parameters of what his water powers are.
Okay.
That's when I saw that scene, I was like, oh, this is working. Like, by the way...
Remember, he, poured drinking water over himself when he was learning how to...
He got a boost of strength enough to do, one sword move, and then he was tired right afterwards. I'm just saying, with how deep the poison is, it just might not be enough for that. Plus, stabbed him in the chest. That's already, too close to his heart.
Yeah.
The fact that it took that long for him to feel it is insane. Maybe it's a slow acting, poison. It's a delayed reaction.
Yeah, it took a long time.
He, ran.
I know.
Running and pumping your blood like that, that's what's going to make a poison, activate quicker. So it must be, one of those poisons that, it's supposed to take a while, you know?
Yeah. The makeup's really good in this scene because he looked horrible.
Oh, my God. I know. I was like,
and it was real.
Percy, lay down.
Yeah, I know. You really felt for him.
Yeah. And then we get this scene where she's like, okay, we have to go to the top of the temple. We have to pray, to Athena. We have to ask her for help.
Yeah.
And then Percy was like, I thought that we don't ask for help because of earlier. But I was like, this is perfect because you'll see, because now that they're friends and now that he's, actually dying, she will ask for help. Before they were just wandering through the woods. They didn't need help. I mean, she was right. They didn't need help. They could still figure things out. But, she will ask for help when it comes to her friends and them big and dangerous stuff.
Yeah, and after the first time when he says let's call for help, he's freaked out. That is his very first monster fight, basically.
Yeah,
there was a thing that
really
happened when he didn't even know that there was anything like that.
Well, no, he also fought the Minotaur.
Oh,
but he was
but this is on,
adrenaline and depression.
To me, it seems like a different thing right here. They're on their quest. They already got attacked by monsters. That was his first one. He was like, oh my gosh, we need to call camp. And, as he goes throughout these quests, he just gets more and more jaded about this is just life, it's
he's so oh, of course this
another monster, monster.
Or something will happen. He's like, well, classically this wasn't easy, and of course we've had 14 monsters.
That nice person who offers us food is of course a monster always. If they're nice, they're probably a monster. I mean, that's what he's thinking in book 4 when he lands on that island, Ogygia.
Yeah,
he's like her name, but he's like, she's nice and she's offering me things. She's probably a monster, but she would have killed me by now, because he's been sleeping for a couple days or something.
A couple days.
So he just kind of gets jaded about everybody's out to kill him. So he's different. And sorry, again, that was another side thing, but that's fine. So yeah, you're right. She says, let's go, but all the cars are crashing, and you see Echidna walking, but you don't see the Chimera yet.
Not really.
But Echidna talks to her, and I didn't catch it the first time I listened.
Oh, yeah.
There's no words.
Everything
it's
goes
this
silent.
weird kind of sound. Yeah. You probably didn't hear that over the microphone, but a weird something sound.
The other sounds around get quieter, and then you hear
it's like a whisper sound.
It's if something didn't know how to whisper was trying to whisper. Not quite a whisper, but it's the impression of a whisper. Yeah.
No, it's almost like Harry Potter doing Parselton. No, it wasn't quite. But she says, guys, did you hear that? And they didn't.
Yeah. But then once they are sitting in the elevator, Percy's like, she talked to you in your head, didn't you?
See, he's still smart, even when he's dying.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't gone to his brain yet. No, but not. And then she's just sitting there shell shocked, and Grover is like, oh, what's the plan? Whatever, the top of the arch, something, whatever. He's saying whatever, but oh no, he's saying how did Echidna get in?
How did Athena live?
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Percy's kept going, Annabeth.
Yeah. And then finally she tells them that Athena is angry at her impertinence, and I'm just like,
so I didn't like this
because
is awful. This is not Athena in the books, and I don't agree with that change. Athena's very wise. The only time she started being weird was in the second set of books in the beginning, and we understand why, right?
Yeah, I can't remember why, but I know there was a reason.
Yeah, she was a little bit she was weird. But in this book series, she's very wise, and she's she would not do something like this.
She comes.
She
through
also
in the third
is
book
a
to
good.
help.
She's actually a fairly good mother for being a god.
At least to Annabeth. Like,
To
we don't know
Annabeth,
about
at
all
least.
of her
That's
children,
true.
but she definitely loves Annabeth, and she's pretty protective over her when the stuff happens in the third book.
She's like not happy with Percy.
Comes down from Olympus to help them because she's worried about Annabeth, and and the only time that
and she also talks to Percy and sort of like, I do not approve of your relationship with my daughter.
Yeah,
and things like that.
Doesn't that happen at the end of the first book? Where
I think that's
like,
the end of the first date.
No, she's like, I don't approve of your friendship with my daughter.
Friendship, yeah.
And he was like.
Especially
Sorry?
because, but it wasn't really a relationship at that time. It was
no,
she
just said friendship, but even then, she didn't even like that they were friends. Like, that was already too much for her.
Don't hang out with my nemesis's son. But so this was weird. I really didn't like it. It made me feel like we're trying to paint the gods in a worse picture than they are, even though they are kind of...
They're already the worst. We don't need to make it worse.
That, so that was not...
I know. I just think... Like, again, it's one of those things, like, when you look at the whole season, I can see why they did this.
Why?
Well, because Percy's trying to teach Annabeth that love shouldn't be what her version of love is right now. Like, right now it's, I mean, they talk about it on the train a bit. It's, like, very conditional, right? Like, she doesn't believe that you can just, like, you don't need to earn it. Like, she believes that it's always in this balance. Like, you could do something just slightly wrong and now you've lost... the progress you made. And that's not how it should be, especially between a mother and daughter, but between friends and between whatever. Like, once you're...
So it feeds that storyline that's just a TV show storyline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But then later when she's like, I'm on Percy's side, I'm here for our friendship and for, like, whatever, like, screw the rules and screw this stupid idea that, like, this is just the way things are, right? And then she saves Percy from the chair. This is like part of what leads up to that point.
Okay.
So
I don't like it
because
I hope they make Athena, they kind of give her some, I mean, she's very stern in the whole book. She's never a loose, light, highly loving mother, particularly. She's not a sweetheart in any way, shape, or form. She maybe doesn't, no, does she vote? I can't remember how she votes for Percy.
I think she votes for him to die.
And that's the end of the first book, right? So we don't get that.
There's a chapter literally called "The Gods Vote." The gods vote on my life, or vote for my death.
I think she votes for him to die.
Yeah, and I think Annabeth even says Mom.
Does as well.
Doesn't Annabeth like mumble?
I don't remember now, but
I feel like that happens.
Yeah, so she is not like, she is a very stern but she's very smart and wise. That's the thing, is like, to her that it's not safe to keep Percy alive because he has a prophecy that he could bring destruction, so let's just get rid of, and that's her, like, no emotion, strict logic, right? And with that,
it doesn't make sense for her to do this.
This is emotional.
Logically, it makes sense to let them die when they need to complete this quest to stop the war from happening, which she doesn't want a war.
Right, she's not on the
even though she's the god of war strategy, like, you know how Ares is the god of war because she's the god of strategy. She's also like in there with the war stuff, but that doesn't mean she wants a war. She would only want a war if it was strategically made sense, but this war over these two brothers, big idiots. Like, she's not into this. Yeah. I agree.
It is. I didn't like that. I hope they kind of.
I hated
fixed that with her later. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this isn't happening in the books. So
yes,
that kind of ends that elevator scene because then they get to the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we can continue that
fight.
Next.
So we can do that. Yeah, we can do that next episode because that's the last part. Is just the fight and falling into the water. Yeah, the next podcast episode, we should finish this episode of the TV.
Nice. Okay, good. So,
and then we get into Aries of the next episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very excited. I think Aries was great.
Yeah, I am too. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm trying to quickly think of a question because, once again, I didn't think of any question.
If you were into architecture and you had to pick one place in America to visit based on its architecture alone, that's not the arch, where would you go?
Does the Hoover Dam count? Is that architecture?
Yeah, I remember because Thalia and Percy are spouting off these, when they go to the dam, they're saying all these facts about it. And then Zoe's like, why do you know so much about this dam? And they're like, oh, our friend Annabeth.
That's right.
Is a crazy architecture.
Yeah, I actually really want to go see that dam. Like, that's on my list of things to see. It's the only thing I can think of right now because the other things I want to see are all natural related. What about you?
See, most of them I've already seen. I mean, like, I really liked the Space Needle in Seattle. That one was really cool, and I got to see that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get to see that when I went.
Maybe I would like... This is, like, kind of silly, because I don't know if it really took a lot of good architecture to make, but I want to go see the mini Eiffel Tower in Las Vegas. I feel like it's, like, so iconic. Plus, there's a lot of great architecture in Las Vegas. There's lots of really cool buildings and stuff. So,
funny.
There you go. Las Vegas.
Let's do a Las Vegas weekend sometime. Want to do that? Would that be fun?
I don't know. Like, when I think about Las Vegas, like, it sounds like a house party. Like one of those things, like, in theory sound fun, but I know that, like, once I'm there, I'm going to be like, this is not really, like, the things that I enjoy.
There's a lot of really fun things you can do there if you do the right things. Yes, the shows. I mean, like, hello, Maroon 5 currently has the residency there. I would like to go just to see
so to go to see, like, some shows and... Just to, like, take in, like, I like the
do a roller coaster inside of a hotel. Like, isn't there, like, a roller coaster inside of a hotel there?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
I like the culture of it, but, like, to actually do, like, the gambling or, like, the late nights and the crazy
parties.
Yeah, well... That doesn't seem fun, but, like, just to go and, like, soak in, like, wow, all the craziness. I would like to visit the Little White Chapel. Just because it's so iconic.
Yeah. That's great. Well, there you go. Okay, good.
We changed our Instagram name. It's now Camp Comparisons Podcast.
That way it matches everything.
That matches the Facebook Camp Comparisons Podcast and the Twitter Camp Comparisons Podcast. So you can find us in all of the places at Camp Comparisons Podcast.
Yeah. And we want you to follow us if you can. It's our Twitter, which we know is called X, but... I just have a hard time saying that.
It's just not a real name.
We all know what Twitter is, right? We're just our Twitter is just a new thing, and there isn't, a lot of people following it yet. So, if you have a Twitter /X, please follow me.
Yeah.
Follow me, follow us. I'm the one doing Twitter. Brad is the one doing Instagram.
I'm really bad at all of the social medias. I spend so little time on social media that I'm bad at it, but I try. I've just stopped going on social media usually. But I will scroll through the Percy Jackson, like, stuff sometimes just because it's so great.
There's a lot of fun Percy Jackson stuff there. There's a lot, by the way, in Twitter. So much. I was so surprised. There is less in Facebook than I think there is in, like, Instagram and Twitter. So, of Percy Jackson type of things to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We also have an email. It's campcomparisons@gmail.com. So if you want
if you have a really cute chihuahua
explain to us exactly, or a really ugly chihuahua picture that you imagine the chihuahua to be. Or if you want to explain to us what is that thing called? I already forgot the name. With the animals, you were like, that thing that we don't understand? I don't
even know what you're talking about.
You're talking about the animals at the arch, like the history.
Manifest Destiny. Oh yeah, you want to send us a letter
in detail what Manifest Destiny is? Email us.
Because in the what's it called? Mike Schubert's podcast.
Yeah.
Newest Olympian. Do you not remember how he talks about that? Well, he talks about that scene. He talks about Manifest Destiny, and they were talking a little bit about it, like they totally knew what they're talking about, and I was so lost. And I should have Googled it.
If I was that lost, I probably just blanked it right out of my brain. So.
Exactly. And also, don't forget to tell your friends about us. And please, if you have not yet, go ahead and follow us on the podcast app you're listening to and rate us.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
It was a rate or a review. It's a review on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
And then it's rating on
podcast. I thought you can still rate on Apple.
That's called a review.
Okay.
You can just hit like a 5-star review without actually writing a review.
Okay, well do that.
I mean?
Do that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, tell your friends. Make people watch the show. Send strangers like a package of the first 5 books. Hope that they read them.
Or, yeah. I mean, yes, but then you have to then tell them to follow, watch the TV show and follow us.
And
there's a few steps there. It's a little complicated. Say yes. Put our name.
Put our podcast name. Sounds like a great art project.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye.